ASMR. Hey everybody. So today I thought I would chew on some gum and tap on a Nike box. Yeah. And just randomly talk about something. So yesterday when I was flipping through the TV, I noticed that the same old movies and stuff are always on. Now, I love Harry Potter. I loved the books. I loved the first movie. In fact, the first movie inspired me to go back and read the books. But the other movies for me were just kind of okay. So when they're on, I'm not so inclined to sit there and watch them. But there are some movies that no matter how many times I've seen them, no matter what part of the movie is currently on, whether it's just started, it's got 10 minutes left, it's in the middle, whatever, I'll sit there and watch them. And yesterday there was nothing on TV except like Harry Potter and some Tom Cruise movies. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan at all. Really liked him in the movie Legend. That movie with Tim Curry where Tim Curry was like the devil and stuff, or I think they called him Darkness or something. Loved him in that movie, but not a Top Gun fan, not a Jerry Maguire fan. I don't know if that's blasphemy or what, but I'm just not. Anyway, lots of Tom Cruise movies on, Mission Impossible, The Mummy. Not interested. So I went to Netflix and I immediately saw one of those movies that no matter when it's on, no matter what part of the movie it is, I'll sit and watch it. And that's La Bamba. La Bamba stars Lou Diamond Phillips, Elizabeth Pena. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. Is it? I don't know. I'm gonna put his name on the screen right now. I do not know how to pronounce his first name. It is, and Joey Pants is in it. It's about, if you don't know, Ritchie Valens' real name, Richard Steven Venezuela, I think.
Valenzuela. Not Venezuela. Valenzuela.
Who was an up-and-coming singer, guitar player, rocker back in the 50s. And he grew up poor, and he was discovered, and like within 6 months of kind of getting his music out there and becoming more popular, he died tragically in a plane crash with two other musicians at the time. One of them was Buddy Holly, and the other one was the Big Bopper. Yeah. So, it's a spoiler alert, but not really, sad ending. And he was only 17 years old when he died. And I've always really loved the movie, especially the dynamic between Ritchie and his brother Bob. Yeah, I don't know, I don't want to talk too much about the movie in case you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, but like I said, I think I said that, I've tried to film this video a bunch of times, so maybe I haven't said it yet in this one. I really enjoyed the movie growing up. I watched it quite often, rented it quite often, but there were things that I did not realize believe it was in February that the plane crash happened. Let me look. Okay, yeah. On February 3rd, 1959 is when the plane crashed and Ritchie, the Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly died. Now, they had all been, stuff I didn't really pick up on, really, because I was really young when I was watching it, is that Ritchie, Buddy, the Big Bopper, and a bunch of other musicians were on a winter, I think it was called the Winter Dance Party Tour, and they were touring across the country, singing their songs in various venues, and they were traveling on school buses that had been kind of converted to tour buses, but they were really bad. It was the middle of winter, it was freezing, there was lots of storms, and the heaters on the bus didn't work. So, they were getting sick, and some of them were getting frostbite on their toes. And Buddy Holly decided hold on, please, I gotta let my other cat in or she is going to meow the whole video. So Buddy Holly decided that he had had enough of that, and he called at the end of their set, I think. He called and chartered a plane, a small private plane. And there were only a couple seats on the plane, and he was going to take himself, Waylon Jennings, and I believe Tommy Allsup. You've probably heard of Waylon Jennings. But the Big Bopper was having flu symptoms, and he really was not feeling well, and he wanted to be able to get to the next location without having to ride on a bus, maybe get to see a doctor before their next gig. So Waylon Jennings gave up his seat on the plane to the Big Bopper. And then Ritchie, even though he was not a fan of flying, really did not like the idea of riding on the bus again. So he talked to Tommy Allsup, and they flipped a coin to see who would get that last seat on the plane. And Ritchie won the coin toss. Coin toss. Oh my god. Coin toss. Ritchie won the coin toss. I cannot speak apparently. So, Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper got on this private plane, and I believe the pilot was early 20s. Actually, let me look that up real quick too. See if it says. Waylon or something like that. So like I said, originally it was supposed to be Waylon Jennings, who was in Buddy Holly's band at the time, and Tommy Allsup and Buddy Holly. Tommy flipped a coin with Ritchie to see which one of them would get to go on the plane, because Ritchie decided that he did not want to ride the bus, but neither did Tommy. And then Waylon gave his seat up to the Big Bopper. Now, Waylon and Buddy Holly like to joke around, and Buddy said something funny, teasing Waylon Jennings about having to ride the bus. And one of the last things that Waylon said to Buddy Holly as a teasing joke was, "I hope your old plane crashes." Well, not too long after that little plane took off, it did end up crashing, and they all died. So that's depressing. And here's the thing about watching La Bamba when you're watching it, or at least when I was a kid watching it. Now, clearly Lou Diamond Phillips was in his 20s playing a 17-year-old. Now, they throw it in your face quite a few times in the movie that, I keep forgetting to tap, that Ritchie is only 17 years old and in high school. So that would make him, I guess it depends, he could have been a junior, I don't know. I don't remember if they said, but very young. But, and Lou Diamond Phillips did look young. I mean, he was in his 20s, but it's still, he looked more like an adult to me than a 17-year-old, so even when they kept repeating that he was 17 when he died, it didn't really resonate with me. Until I looked up pictures of what Ritchie Valens really looked like, and I got to thinking about it. Now here's the funny thing, and it's gonna kind of contradict what I just said a little bit, because honestly, some pictures of the real Ritchie Valens, he looks like he's like 30, even though he's 17. So in some ways, Lou looked a little bit younger than he did in pictures. But reading more about him and looking at some of his pictures, like, it hit home that, like, he's almost the same age as my kid. My kid's about to turn 16. And just how short his life was. Here's another thing. Lou Diamond Phillips looks nothing at all, even remotely, like Ritchie looked like. Now, first of all, I believe that Lou Diamond Phillips is Filipino. Let me look that up because I don't want to be a jerk saying that. Oh my god, what is that noise? That is, oh god, it's a train and it is so vibrating and annoying. Okay, yeah, he's a Filipino American. Oh my god, that noise is driving me nuts. And somehow, I guess maybe because things were a little bit different than they are now when people, get up in arms about this sort of thing, but Lou was Filipino, and he's played Mexicans, Mexican Americans, he's played Native Americans, like, he's played so many different things. And the real Ritchie, like I said, in a lot of pictures he looks older than he is, but he was he was a chubby boy. I can say that because I'm a fatty too. But he was overweight. He wasn't. I'm gonna put a picture of Lou here as Ritchie, and then I'm gonna put in a picture. You know what? I'll do one of those side by side pictures so you can see the difference. So yeah, quite a difference. There's a train. Also, and this is like even, I don't know if this is bigger than the fact that they didn't look alike at all to me, but this is pretty huge. If it's at least on the same level as the different looks. I didn't realize until like 7 years ago that there is no, like, Ritchie's real voice is not in the movie at all. I knew that Lou was lip syncing clearly, but I didn't realize until like 7-8 years ago that he's lip syncing to the band Los Lobos, and they are singing covers of Ritchie's songs. There is no actual sounds of Ritchie's voice at all in the movie. I had to go on iTunes to find his real stuff. Now, in the Buddy Holly story, Gary Busey. Wait a minute. Oh, crap. Crap. The video has stopped. I'm gonna pause here and start recording video again. Hold on. What a hot mess I am. Okay, I'm back. That was so annoying. I had to make some space on my phone and that took like 20 minutes. Anyway, as I was saying, so there was a movie called The Buddy Holly Story. And Gary Busey played Buddy Holly. Now, I don't think they had any of Buddy Holly's actual recordings in that movie either. But Gary Busey was actually singing Buddy Holly's music in that movie. So he was singing Buddy Holly's songs, whereas Lou Diamond Phillips was just lip syncing to Los Lobos version of Ritchie Valens' songs, and in La Bamba. And Los Lobos actually can be seen in La Bamba when Ritchie and his brother Bob go to the brothel in Mexico. They are the band that's actually singing La Bamba, so they have a little cameo in there too. Now, because it was such a long time ago and Ritchie's career only spanned something like, I don't know, it was like less than a year, it is very hard to find a lot of stuff with him in it, like singing or like performing, like video wise. I'm gonna link down below. There is a video clip of his cameo in the movie. I believe it's Go Johnny Go. I think it had Chuck Berry in it. I can't remember, but he's performing his song Ooh My Head. I actually really like that song. I have it on my phone. Again, getting back to his music, like on iTunes, I was able to find his actual recordings. You can find them on YouTube too, but you have to really search because people have them listed wrong. A lot of times when you click on a Ritchie Valens La Bamba or Ritchie Valens Donna, it's actually Los Lobos singing, and the person who uploaded the video has a picture of Ritchie, as the thumbnail, or the actual video. So, but it's not actually Ritchie. I'll try and link below video videos that I know are his actual recordings. Yeah. So that was a big one. Learning that, you know, this whole movie about him and they don't actually have any of his actual voice in it. Now there's a scene in the movie where the family is having a party and Ritchie and Bob get in a fight because Ritchie had asked Bob to pick out a dress for their mother for Christmas and Bob didn't do it.
I lied. The fight scene was actually at a different party later in the film. Sorry.
During that party scene, they briefly pan the camera over to an older woman sitting on a couch, and she's kind of just smiling in a daze. That is Ritchie Valens' real-life mother. They gave her a cameo in the movie. What's really sad is that, now the oh my god. Hold on. Hold the phone. I am so sorry, you guys. This is going to be a bitch to edit. I forgot to delete the other videos from my phone. So again, the video got out. I am so sorry. Anyway, what's really sad is that Ritchie's family was involved, like fully, like a lot, in the making of this movie. Like, they approved Lou Diamond playing Ritchie. They were there on the set all the time. What's really sad is that during the coin toss scene where Ritchie and Tommy Allsup flip to see who gets a seat on the airplane, one of Ritchie's sisters, one of his younger sisters, had a really hard time with that, and she ran up to Lou Diamond Phillips and hugged him and was crying, saying something like, Ritchie, why'd you have to go? Why did you have to get on the plane? Something like that. Like, this is like so sad. So they had a lot to do with the movie. So whatever inaccuracies there were in the film, they didn't really seem to mind too much. I'm so mad at my camera right now. Well, my camera's my phone. I need to start using my other camera. I do have a nice camera. I have a Canon digital camera, but I need to get a new memory card for it. That would solve some of this annoying videos disappearing stuff. Oh my god. But yeah, I really like the movie La Bamba, and it's made me, I get a little bit obsessive about tragedies. Like, I have read so much about 9/11. I have read so much about Columbine, serial killer stuff, like sad tragedies. Like, I guess it's just so hard to wrap my mind around it that I just have to fill my brain. I know it sounds morbid, but I have to fill my brain with all of this stuff, because it's like I'm trying to figure it out, and clearly if the professionals can't figure it out, I'm not going to be able to figure out this stuff. And then the tragedies, they're just horrible tragedies. There's nothing to figure out, but I don't know. But yeah, La Bamba is one of those movies that I really enjoy watching, so man, I hope you got some joy out of listening to this. What a hot mess it is. I should just rename my channel Alycatness Hot Mess ASMR. I'm kidding, I am not renaming my channel again. Okay, I'm gonna end this now before something else goes wrong. Hey you guys, so I'm so annoyed with how the this video came out that I'm going to read you 25 facts about La Bamba you didn't know until now. Even though you probably do know them, because probably most of these I just said in the video. But, just in case my rambling wasn't coherent, here you go. The film did not use the original songs sung by Ritchie Valens. Instead, the songs in the film were covers by Los Lobos. Ritchie's real-life sister, Connie Lemos, was on set when the infamous coin toss scene was filmed. She sobbed uncontrollably and threw herself at Lou Diamond Phillips, screaming, "Why did you have to go? Why did you have to go?" That's super sad, isn't it? According to Connie Lemos, the film provided closure for the Valenzuela. I am so sorry, family. They were finally able to accept and let go. You figure he died in 1959 and the movie was made in like 80, well, it came out in 87, so probably made in 86. That's a long time. The mid-air plane collision at the beginning of the film occurred in real life on January 31st, 1957. The debris crashed into the schoolyard at Pacoima Junior High School, which ultimately killed 8 people and injured 75 others. Most of the victims were school children. Ritchie lost his best friend in the accident, and this would cause him to develop a fear of flying. Ritchie was not at school the day of the crash, as he was at his grandfather's funeral. Ritchie's real-life mother, Concepcion Reyes, appeared in the film during the first family party. I really need to look up how to pronounce his name. I want to say, I don't know, the brother, the guy who played the brother, had originally auditioned for the role of Ritchie Valens, while Lou Diamond Phillips had auditioned for the darker role of Bob. The director's brother, Daniel Valdez, who was also an associate producer, recommended Phillips for the role of Ritchie. Lou Diamond Phillips was originally told that he would be auditioning for a musical about the life of Frankie Valli. In the original script, Ritchie's older brother Bob was the lead of the film. I could see them doing that. Honestly, as much as I loved La Bamba, the character of Bob was a much more interesting character than Ritchie. And I think that's because they made Ritchie kind of really cookie cutter, goody goody a little bit, and I don't think that Ritchie Valens in real life was like 100% like that. Even though Lou Diamond Phillips played the younger brother to Mr. Morales, that I cannot pronounce his first name. Sorry, I had to pop up. Lou is actually older. Not by much, by like a year. While it's stated in the film that Steve, Ritchie's dad, drunk himself to death, the real Steve died from lifelong complications after coming into contact with mustard gas during the First World War. Lou Diamond Phillips Lobos was a stage actor in Fort Worth, Texas when he first auditioned for the film in Dallas. He was flown to Hollywood 2 weeks later and was cast as Ritchie. Rosanna DeSoto, I don't know if I'm saying that right either, who played Connie, the mother of Ritchie and Bob, was only 12 years older than Lou Diamond Phillips and Mr. Morales over here that I can't say his name. Despite the mainstream global appeal of the song La Bamba, Los Lobos for a time didn't really enjoy bringing it out at concerts. According to Lou Diamond Phillips, the family was on set every day, and they constantly referred to him as Ritchie. The Northern California fields that the Valenzuela family are working at in the beginning of the film are actually in San Jose, California. Writer-director Luis Valdez was originally supposed to just write the script with Taylor Hackford at the helm as director. The idea of a Ritchie Valens biopic was first pitched back in the early 70s to music label A&M Records, but they turned it down. Danielle Valdez had thought about putting Ritchie Valens' story on stage as a musical. He also spent 5 to 6 years researching Valens' life, from collecting articles to tracking down the Valenzuela family, who were extremely wary at first about the project. I am gonna butcher these names. Valdez originally wanted to cast Emilio El Indio Fernandez, a pioneer of the golden age of Mexican cinema, for the role of El Curandero, but he died due to a motorcycle accident. The role went to Felipe Cantu, a longtime member of Luis Valdez El Teatro Campesino, in what would be his last role ever. I am so sorry. Los Lobos were working on their second album, By the Light of the Moon, at the same time they were doing work for La Bamba. They had 2 studios at Sunset Sound in Hollywood, one for their album and another for the film, and would constantly have to run back and forth between the 2. While the film is completely in English, there were a few theaters that showed the film with Spanish subtitles and Spanish dubbing, which raked in nearly $400,000 at the box office. Los Lobos appear in the film as the band playing La Bamba when Ritchie and Bob go to Tijuana. The soundtrack for La Bamba, along with a single, peaked at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 in September 1987. The album was also certified double platinum. Okay guys, it's really the end this time. I'm sorry I butchered all of the Spanish names.